So hello everyone, welcome all to Physics with Astronautics. So in this video we will again discuss about the topic of last year CPET examination physics questions. So let's begin. Here is our first question. Find the value of gamma 7 by 2 divided by gamma 1 by 2. So let's say the solution. We know that the formula of gamma n plus 1 is equal to n gamma n. So here we can write gamma 7 by 2 is equal to 5 by 2 into 3 by 2 into 1 by 2 into gamma 1 by 2, and by solving this question we will get that the value of gamma 7 by 2 divided by gamma 1 by 2 is equal to 15 by 8. So then here is our second question, which is at point of the singularity of an analytic function f of z, it is, the options are analytic, non-analytic, may or may not be analytic, or none of these. So what will be the answer? Let's see. As we know the definition, singularity, or also called the singular point, of a function of the complex variable z is a point at which f of z is not analytic. So the answer will be is not analytic at singular point. Here is our third question, that is, if f of s is the complex Fourier transformation of f of x, then Fourier transformation of f of ax is equal to what? And the options are 1 by a f of s by a, b a f s by a, 2 by a square f of s by a, and 1 by a square f of s by a. So let's see what will be its solution. Here is its solution, as it has been given that a Fourier transformation of f of x is f of s, that is Fourier transformation of f of x is equal to f of s. We know that the Fourier transformation of f of x is equal to 1 by root 2 pi integration minus infinity to infinity f of x e to the power I s x dx. So here we can write that Fourier transformation of f of ax is equal to 1 by root 2 pi integration from minus infinity to infinity f of ax e to the power isx dx. Let take ax equal to t. So here we can write dx is equal to dt by a. And by putting this equation in the above equation, we can find that f of t is equal to 1 by root pi integration minus infinity to infinity f of t e to the power is t by a dt by a, that is equal to 1 by root 2 pi integration minus infinity to infinity f of t e to the power I s by a t dt. So here we can write it as 1 by a f of s by a. So our answer will be 1 by a f of s by a. Then here is the next question, that is, function of z square is not analytic anywhere, analytic at origin only, analytic at everywhere, and analytic at the upper half plane only. So let's see what is its answer. And here it is. Here it is given that f of z is equal to z square, and we know that z is equal to x plus iota y, that is z square is equal to x plus iota y whole square, that is equal to x square minus y square plus 2 iota xy. So here we can take the real part u of xy is equal to x square minus y square, and the imaginary part v of xy is equal to 2xy. So the condition for the function to be analytic, we know the Cauchy-Riemann equation, that is del u by del x is equal to del v by del y, and del v by del x is equal to minus del u by del y. So by finding the value of del u by del x, del v by del y, del v by del x, and del u by del y, we can find that del u by del x is equal to del v by del y, and del v by del x is equal to minus del u by del y. So because it satisfies the above condition, means it is analytic at everywhere. Then here is the next question, that is, which of the following is not correct? h2n 0 is equal to minus 1 to the power n 2n factorial by n factorial. B, h2n plus 1 0 is equal to 0. C, hx2n 0 is equal to 0. Or D, hx2n plus 1 0 is equal to 0. So let's see what will be its answer. So here is the answer, that is, we all know the Hermite polynomial h(x) is equal to summation over r equal to 0 to p minus 1 to the power r n factorial 2x to the power n minus 2r whole divided by r factorial n minus 2r factorial. And again, p is equal to n by 2 for n is even and p is equal to n minus 1 by 2 for n is odd. So for n to n 0 we can take n is equal to 2n and p is equal to n. So the equation will be minus 1 to the power n to n factorial by n factorial. And here it is correct. h2n plus 1 0 is equal to minus 1, because here n is odd, so we can take p is equal to n minus 1 whole divided by 2, that is minus 1 to the power n minus 1 by 2 2n plus 1 whole factorial into 0, because here x equal to 0 whole divided by n minus 1 by 2 factorial 2n plus 1 minus 2 into n minus 1 by 2 whole factorial, and here it will be 0. So again this is also true. Then where we will come to the next part, that is for Hermite polynomials recurrence relation, we know that h(x) and x is equal to 2n h n minus 1 x. So from here we'll get that h(x) 2n 0 will be 0 and h(x) 2n plus 1 0 is not equal to 0. So our answer will be D. So next, jump to the next question, that is, what is the value of x delta x x? And the options are minus del x 2 delta x minus 3 delta x. So let's see the solution. Here it is. We know from the definition of Dirac delta function that is delta x is equal to 0 for x is not equal to 0 and equal to infinite for x equal to 0. And again we know that integration over delta x dx is equal to 1. So because we have the question x delta x is equal to what, so we can write it as integration over x delta x x dx. So by putting the u into v formula, I mean integration of u into v, we will get 8h minus delta x dx, integration over delta x dx. So by comparing these two equations, we will get that x delta x is equal to minus delta x. Then here is the next question, that is, a cylinder is filled with non-viscous liquid of density d to height h0 and a hole is made at a height h1 from the bottom of the cylinder. The velocity of the liquid coming out of the hole is what? And the options are 2g h0, 2g h0 minus h1, g dh1 root over and root over g d h0. So let's see what will be its solution. From Bernoulli's equation, we all know that P plus half rho V square plus rho G H is equal to constant. So by putting this equation in this question, we'll get that P1 plus half rho V1 square plus rho GH1 dax is equal to P2 plus half rho V2 square plus rho GH dax 2. And here at point 1 and point 2, here we have P is equal to the atmospheric pressure, that is we can take it as P naught, that is both side P naught, it will cancel each other, and we'll get the next equation, that is half into 0 plus rho g h naught minus h1 is equal to half rho v2 square. And here we can take that v1 is nearly equal to 0, that's why we put this value in half rho v1 square and it will be 0. So we'll get that v2 equal to root over 2g h naught minus h1. So then next jump to the next slide. Here is our next question. For the Lagrangian L that is half q dot square minus q dot plus q square, then find the p conjugate to q. So here we have to find the value of p, that is we know L is equal to half q dot square minus q dot plus q square, and we know that p is equal to del L by del qk dot. That is, by solving it we will get that p is equal to q dot minus q. Next jump to the next question, that is here is it. What is the height of the geostationary satellite above the surface of the earth? And the options are 35.8 into 10 to the power 3 kilometer, 71 into 10 to the power 3 kilometer, 17.9 into 10 to the power 3 kilometer, and the options D is none of these. So let's see what will be the answer. Here we know that the time period of revolution of a satellite is t square is equal to 4 pi square r plus h whole cube whole divided by r square g. And again we know that the radius of earth is r is equal to 6400 kilometer and t is equal to 24 hours, that is we can write it as 24 into 3600 second, and g is equal to 9.8 meter per second square or 0.0098 kilometer per second square. So by putting all these value in the equation, we'll get that h is equal to 35.8 into 10 to the power 3 kilometer. Here is our next question or last question of this session, that is a hollow and solid sphere of the same mass has an equal moment of inertia about diameter. The ratio of their radii is what? And the options are root 3 is to root 5, 3 is to 5, 5 is to 3, or root 5 is to root 3. Let's see what will be its answer. So here it is. As it has been given that the mass and moment of inertia are equal of both the case, in solid sphere and in hollow sphere. So again we know that the moment of inertia about its diameter of a hollow sphere is 2 by 3 m r1 square and a solid sphere is 2 by 5 m r2 square. And here because the moment of inertia are equal, so we can equate these two equations and can found that r1 is to r2 is equal to root 3 is to root 5. I hope you all enjoy this session. So for more, please do like, share and subscribe. Thank you.